it's going to be this, right? And you're going to handle them all the same way. It's going to be the time, price, belief, or spouse. That's going to be the four main objections, right?
Okay.
And you'll hear those time and time again. And here's the thing about those. You may hear those in different type of, I guess, ways. So a customer may communicate, oh, it's a price issue in a different way outside of just saying price. Or they may, what I like to call them smoke screens, right? So the real objection may be price, but they may throw a smoke screen and it may just say, well, hey, let me talk to my wife. Let me talk to my husband. So that happens a lot. And it's just how you handle those and how you draw out the real objection.
I think that's most of mine, actually.
Yeah.
Because we don't.
Spouse?
Yes.
Okay.
But I think it's a smoke screen.
Yeah.
Because we're not the lowest price.
Right.
Sometimes we're the highest.
Yep.
But we never really hear anyone say, man, that's expensive. We always hear, okay, let me talk to my wife or talk to my husband.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, I mean, and to be honest, that's probably the most common objection and also the most common smoke screen. Because how easy is it for somebody to say, oh yeah, let me talk to my husband, let me talk to my wife, right?
Yeah.
But the way, and I know we were talking about this the other day, but I'll just reiterate it, is the way that you get around that objection and the way that you get around all of them is you're going to want to restate, clarify, and then close. So what does that sound like in the case of objection of a spouse? It's going to be as simple as this. If somebody says, hey, I want to talk to my wife, you say, okay, I completely understand. You want to speak to your wife. You know, you guys make decisions together. Easiest way to get past that is just ask a question. So you'll ask, oh, awesome. Like, you'll talk to your wife. How long you guys been married for? I've been married for 10 years. Oh, we've been married about 15. I said, man, you probably know your wife really well. I know my wife, kind of well. Sometimes she throws me in oddballs of, where she wants to go for dinner and just different type of stuff like that. But you must know your wife pretty well. So answer me this. Outside of your wife right now and looking at this proposal or this estimate, what's something that you will have objection to?
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Let's say, like, no, nothing. I mean,
So you don't even you don't even say, like, okay, talk to your wife and I'll call you in the morning. So you're going to push a little bit past.
Yeah, because I want to find out, is that the real objection or is that the smokescreen?
Okay.
So by singling it out to make sure that the person in front of you, husband or wife, that make sure that they don't have any objections. And if they don't, that's when you'll move forward and say, well, hey, you know your wife, your husband really well. Just based on what I'm showing you right now, do you see anything that they would object to?
Yeah, because they're going to actually talk about their objections.
Right.
But they're going to be able to use it as an excuse, maybe, because they're nervous to just say the price is too high. Or
exactly.
So they could kind of like put it on them, almost like when we don't want to go to a party, we say, let me talk to my wife.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. That's like the nice rejection, right?
Yeah.
Like the nice stiff arm.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, right? Here's emotional intelligence. All these things come with sales, and it comes with practicing and more repetition. Is you need to know, like, okay, well, man, maybe this is the objection. Like, maybe this person really does need to talk to their wife. Maybe this person really does need to talk to their husband to make a decision, right? I know you told me multiple times, like, you like to think, overnight. You don't make a decision then.
Never.
You sleep on it, and then you come back to it, right?
And I actually do
right
consult my wife on big financial decisions. So that would actually be a real thing for me.
So watch this. So you'll be a time and you'll be a price guy. Hey, you need a little more time to think about it, right?
Because you said there's time,
and
price.
a spouse, sorry.
Time, spouse, price.
And belief.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I would be time.
And spouse.
Okay, yeah.
Because you'll need to talk to your wife, and then you'll need some time to think about it. So as my job as a salesman, right, I need to have enough emotional intelligence to really feel you out with a customer. Hopefully I built enough rapport. Hopefully I did enough questioning to really understand your need and what you're looking to get done, and have a better feel for you to understand, like, hey, this Mike, you know what? He needs to think about it. He needs to talk to his wife. So what do I do then, right? Do I just say, well, hey, just give me a call back, Mike, when you're ready? No, I don't do that. So I find an exact time and day. I'm gonna follow back up with you. And after I ran through my restate, my clarify and close with those two different objections, and I found out they're not smoke screens, I'm gonna find out what's the best time to give you a call. What's the best day to give you a call?
So if he says, okay, so I had one the other day.
Yep.
I said, hey, I'm gonna follow up, right? I said, hey, what's a good time? He said, hey man, I'm retired. It really doesn't matter.
Right.
So I said, okay, well, you mentioned you're gonna give one more quote. When is that? And you tell me if this is right. So
Yeah.
I said, when is that? And he said, it's tomorrow night. I said, okay, how about I call you the next morning? So is that good, or should I try to call him right after that last estimate?
I mean, listen, if he's saying tomorrow night, like if he's taking time to think with you, he's probably needs some time to process that last estimate. I think that morning time is perfect.
Okay.
It's perfect. He would have slept on it because, again, emotional intelligence, right? You felt him out. He seems like a thinker. If he's going to think with you, he's probably going to think with the next quote as well. And then you can follow up with him in the morning. But that time when you're following up with him, that's when you need to be more direct, right? You need to really close them right there.
Okay, on that morning.
Yeah, that morning.
How do you just close them right there? You're on the phone.
Yep.
What does that look like?
Yeah. So obviously it's not going to be the same way while you're in person,
Mm-hmm.
but hopefully, right? And this is all about. Look, sales is all about setting yourself up. The ideal close is never over the phone, especially in home service, especially in HVAC.
Mm-hmm.
It's never over the phone. But if you have to, hopefully you set yourself up right. And what I mean by that, right? When you went over that menu, hopefully you understood, or the estimate, for those who are listening and don't know what menu, estimate, kind of interchangeable there with words. But when you went over your estimate, hopefully you know where that customer is leaning towards.
So you should be asking on the first one then.
Oh, 100%.
So you're like, which one of these is going to work for you?
Yeah.
You taught me that because I used to say.
Yeah.
I used to say something that was a little bit weaker than that. You said, "Hey."
You should say. I remember when I started coaching you on that. You used to ask them, "Do you have any questions?"
That right.
Yeah.
And they would say no.
Yeah.
So then you said, "No, I need to."
Right.
So I have a good, better, best.
Yep.
And now I say, which one of these is going to work for you? And
Right.
then they have been answering, like, this one over here is actually looking pretty good.
Right.
So do you go with that, or do you? What if I want to kind of sell the middle one, but they want the bottom one? It doesn't matter, right?
Yeah, no. So here's the thing, right? And let me kind of address that back with the selling over the phone, and I'm gonna recircle back to that, right? So hopefully, like, you set yourself up, right? And even if somebody gives you the objections, oh, I need some time to think about it, or I gotta talk to my spouse, just say, hey, if we were let's just say you were ready to move forward, Mr. or Mrs. Customer, just based on what you see, which one are you leaning closer towards if you had to make a decision today? Good? Okay, you want to go with the good selection? All right, so now we know that the customer is on good. So if we know we need to follow with them the next morning after that last estimate they have, or whatever time it may be, our word track is going to be only geared towards that good.
That one, okay.
Yes, only that selection, because you don't want to overwhelm on the phone. They're not really seeing anything in person. Hey, you remember that, you can say, hey, remember the good selection might be the train, whatever it is, whatever unit it is, you may go over some points that really hits home for them and tie it into why that's the best selection for them. Now, back to your point earlier, if you have different menu options and then that the customer needs to, you want that customer to go with this selection, but they're going with this. Hey, if they're going with, let's say they're going with like, let's say good, better, best. Let's say they're just going with the good option, and you really want to, sell them on the best, and they just really sold on the good. Man, listen, you are the consultant, you're the expert, so you need to consult at that moment. And listen, I'm not saying you need to sell at that moment.
Right, yeah.
It's different.
Okay.
You need to consult, so you need to communicate in a way that they understand why the better option, in terms of good, better, best, is going to be the best option for them. Because whatever, they may not be keeping their property, or they may be keeping their property for a very long time. Maybe a good option is better for someone that is going to have a rental property, short-term rental, mid-term rental. But this is going to be a person's forever home, but they're not trying to break the bank. So yeah, you need to go with the better, because this is going to last longer. It's going to be more durable.
So are you,
Yep.
okay, so then I'm scared now.
Okay.
And I know I brought up the question, but
Yep.
I'm just learning here.
Yeah.
So I presented originally good, better, best.
Right.
Followed up with them 2 days later on Monday. And they say, you know what, I'm leaning towards the good. Am I talking them out of a sale now?
No, I wouldn't say that at all, because at the end of the day, to me, in that situation, that customer is going to buy.
Okay.
That customer is going to buy.
So I'm not going to talk them out.
No.
They're set on good.
Yeah.
By saying, hey, did you really think about this? I'm not going to end up talking them out of it.
Yeah.
They're either going to move up there or just say, no, I want this.
Yeah, let me give you some word track there. So just off the top of the dome, right? So somebody said, oh, yeah, I want to go with the good option. Well, hey, that's a really good option. But what I see, what most of my customers in your situation, in terms of what you're trying to do long-term with your home, we found, right, that the better option is typically the one that customers would go with. And this is why. Because you're talking yourself out of a sale when you have that sales mentality. But what do we always talk about, right? Needs-based selling, taking a consultative approach. Like, selling is just serving. Like, we just need to consult the customer into the best option for them. Because when you're talking about, you're thinking you have the mindset of sell, and like, I'm gonna just sell this person on this, I'm gonna sell them on that. You're naturally going to push them into something they don't want.
Yeah, I got you. Okay.
Or don't even need.
Yeah. So closing them on the phone.
Yep.
On the follow-up call. So first thing you're going to do is kind of find out which one they're leaning on.
Right.
And then they say, okay, I'm leaning kind of on this one to Goodman or whatever. Then you say, okay, you know what? That's a good choice, because you're going to sell the house next month. It's already listed.
Right.
Yeah, great choice.
Yeah.
All right, so what now? What do I do now?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of
do I just say, like, do you want to schedule it today? Or, I mean, what does the close look like?
Yeah, I mean, what I would do, if you have your menu, your estimate ready, you say, okay, awesome, let's go ahead and send you over the estimate. And then that's once
They have it already.
They already have it. Oh, then they're signing it. They're signing and sending it back.
So you're just saying, okay, all right, how about we got tomorrow morning? Put you on the schedule.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you have that available within your scheduling. Yeah, ASAP.
Yeah, I do see sometimes with companies, they can't do it 2 to 3 or 4 weeks. And to me, that's a sign that you need to maybe get some more trucks on the road. But,
right.
But yeah, okay, I guess there's no reason why you wouldn't I mean, that's the whole point you're following up, is to try to ask them. That's kind of
100%.
At some point, it does get to the point to where you have to ask.
Exactly, yeah. And then talking about sale, watch this, right? So what does your post-sale look like? Post-sale follow-up.
After
the
job is done?
Yeah, after it's installed, after it's done, is there any type of follow-up after that?
So for me, we do what's called a couple things. So there's a happy call.
Yep.
That's what we call it.
Yep.
So we call them and say, hey, Miss Smith, I know that the thing got installed yesterday. Mm-hmm. Did everything go well? Did the guys clean up? That's one way we do, just to let them know we didn't just take $10,000 from you. We don't care about you anymore. Right. So we do that for that. We also do it to get feedback. Because if something went wrong, we don't want it to go wrong in the next time.
100%.
And then we send a customer gift, which is usually like cookies or something.
Nice.
Because we want them to refer us to someone else.
Okay.
We do honestly want to say thank you for choosing us. I mean, you didn't have to choose us.
Right.
Really, there's the human side of just thank you.
Why
we're doing it.
100%.
And then we also want to keep them as a customer. So that's what we do. Is there something?
No, what I was getting to on that is, and you kind of alluded it to it, but I guess another question I'll have is, you send them a gift because you want the referral. Are we asking for the referral, right? Because those are, I think, in sales, right, in general, doesn't matter what industry, I I think referral business is the most overlooked business, because it's like, why would you not want referral business? Because it's somebody else that you serve very well, and it's their word, right? It's not coming from you, but it's their word to someone else that is in need of, repairs, need a new ductwork,
Yeah.
a new unit. It's their word to them, and it's a warm lead. They're open,
Yeah.
and their barriers are already down. So, right, what's the point of building rapport? What we talk about is dropping the customer's barrier. The barriers are already down,
So how are you
because
asking them for a referral on like an HVAC unit or plumbing or roofing or something? I just straight up say, hey, do you know anyone else? Or what's
it's as simple as this. So if you have your happy call to say, hey, sounds like you really enjoyed our service with our services with AC Man. I really, really appreciate your business once again. Do you know anyone that may benefit from the same service you just received?
Okay, so what if they say, oh, you know what, I can't think of anyone on the top of my head, but if I think of someone, then yeah, I'll definitely tell them. I imagine the conversation.
Yeah, and depending on your manpower that you have, you can set up a month follow-up call. Say, all right, that's fine. I'll call you in a month if you have anybody, just to check in with you, and I'll ask you again.
Really?
And boom, have a nice day.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yep,
Wow.
100%.
So you could almost do, like we do the happy call is the next day.
Right.
But you can almost schedule out, okay, we're going to do it the next day, make sure everything went smooth.
For sure.
We can do like a month later. Hey, I know it's been a month. How's the unit going?
Exactly.
Dude, that's incredible.
Yes. And then from there, you can say, hey, I know I asked you last time, did anything come by? I know it's kind of hot now. Summer's coming up. Springtime's ending. Anybody else need any, services?
Yeah, because they may ask you, they may say, hey, can you come look at my other unit? Stuff like that happens. Because I heard something
all
the
the
other
time.
day.
All the time.
Yeah, somebody said the other day, it really been bothering me for a couple of days as a business owner.
Right.
It was a video I was watching, and he said, no one can tell you the name of the company that did their roof. And I started thinking about it, and I'm like,
wow,
that's true. You can't find anyone.
Wow.
I had my roof done a couple of years ago.
Right.
I don't know who did it.
Wow.
And that's crazy.
So it's like, what impact are we having on our customers?
Zero. And I had someone do a plumbing thing for us. It was a really big job at my house.
Right.
And a couple months had went by, and someone asked for a plumber, and you know what my response was?
I don't remember.
I said, oh, man, this guy was really good. Man, if I could just remember his name.
Yeah.
Oh, it was like 3 months ago.
You know who I blame on that? The tech and the salesman.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we can do the happy call the next day.
Uh-huh.
And then we need to have a constant drip marketing. Well, it could be a month later, phone call.
Yeah,
then 6 months later, phone call. Or it could be a text message automated. Or an email.
Exactly. Yeah.
I love that.
100%.
I'm going to add a 6 month or 2. I'm going to do 30 days.
Yeah. And you can add that to your sales process.
Yep. I'm going to add 30-day happy call.
Yeah. So boom. Yeah. And in that way, you make an impact, and hopefully your tech/salesman, they're making an impact there with the customer while they're in person, because they are the face of the company.
Right.
So they're making that strong impact. And then, when somebody asks them, they're going to remember, John at AC Man or Rick at AC Man. They're gonna remember.
These things matter now because things are different right now.
Yeah.
Anyone who's in the business right now, you can see that whatever it is, I don't want to blame it on the economy. I don't know what to blame it on. But sales are harder.
It is.
Right now. And
it is.
I'm noticing in my business, referrals, if you're not getting a referral, it's very hard to close.
It is. It is, man, because pricing, and I think you experienced this too before, is that pricing, being the lowest price doesn't always give you that job. The market is getting saturated. There's so much different, businesses out there that are just getting bids. Customers are just getting bids left and right. They're just getting so much, and they're getting overwhelmed. So it's like, you're just another contractor. You're just another AC company, just another electrical company. How are you differentiating yourself from that other company. And
do you think it's cheesy to be sitting at the table? Yeah, make it right here.
Yep.
When you're closing at the table, so they already know you because you've been doing rapport since you knocked on the door, right? You taught me that. But then when you get to the table, then you walk them through the good, better, best. I've been adding a section, so I go best, better, good, right?
Right.
Make right on, up here at the stop sign. Then after I present it, then I go to my Google page and show them our reviews and tell them about our company. Is that okay, or is that breaking the cadence?
Ooh, yeah. No, that's a great question. And as you see, some bandit signs are right there.
I put those up. I put mine up, they take them down, but
that's funny.
That's why I spend $3 on each one. I don't care if you take them down.
Right. It's a little marketing there. Yeah. I got you. No, that's a good question because, again, and I'm gonna just go back to emotional intelligence because and unfortunately, that's something you can't teach. It's something you just have to experience and get better at. But it all depends because if it feels forced, then no way. But if it's kind of natural, then you can bring out what I call your brag book, right?
Yeah.
All your Google reviews. Hey, look what I have.
Look. There's one of our truck right there.
Yep.
So I want to continue this. Let me drop this off to Ray, and then we'll go to part 2.
Cool.